Well, good morning, everybody. This is Bug Out on another Bug Out adventure commentary. I learned a new skill last night. Not only did the raccoons come back, but there were 4 of them, maybe 5. Some juveniles, an older male or an older female, couldn't really tell. It kind of stood off back in the back over here. While the others tried to get into my tent. So after going back and forth with these raccoons, and thinking that, they're pretty intelligent mammals. So they already know that there's food here. They're going to figure out a way to get to it, but not on my shift. Maybe on somebody else's, but not mine. So anyhow, I got online last night and I started looking up ways to ecologically and safely deter coons, because I am in a state park and you cannot hunt, trap, or kill these animals that are in this park. Now, if one of them got aggressive, of course, I'd have me a coon hat, but right now they're just foraging for food, and I believe they're getting ready for the winter, because all the animals around here are showing signs of collecting and burying food for the winter. And the leaves are falling off of the trees as well. You'll hear some background noise. I don't know what that is. Possibly them emptying the big garbage cans throughout the park. Yeah, it's a pretty good sized park. One of the biggest ones I've been in, besides Big Bend down there in South Texas. That's a nice, beautiful park when they got the border secure. I wouldn't suggest going down there right now. Anyhow, back to the coon story again. So I looked up some natural ways to kind of deter them, and one of the things that I come across was onion. Believe it or not, they don't like the smell of onion. They don't like the taste of onion. They don't like to be around onion. And I just happened to have an onion that I had used I had to part half of an onion that I had used about 2 days ago, because I made me some fried taters on the grill over here. Hold on, let me show you. See my grill? I've already got my cowgirl coffee going this morning. And there's my skillets that I use. Look how clean they are. I just use them, clean them with the water on the fire. But anyhow, so I cut that onion up, and after I scared them off for about the second or third time, I cut that onion up, kind of placed it around the back to where they started going initially, because they do that learned behavior stuff like a lot of people do. And so they learn that there's food inside that tent. They just don't know how to get to it. Okay. So I cut it up and sprinkled it around there. Well, guess what? It works. Now, it doesn't work against that little bit that I put down there. Doesn't work against 4 or 5 raccoons, but what it did do, it got them to where they wouldn't come close to the tent. I could hear them out there talking. You know how them raccoons, they'd be talking to each other, making those noises and stuff, and in their little raccoon talk. And so they stayed away from the backside. Well, then they decided to come around front. Bad mistake. I ran them off again, and I ended up scaring them pretty good, and so they took off and went down the road there to some other campers and terrorized them for a while, which I was glad, because I finally was able to get some sleep. But that was my adventure for last night, dealing with coons again. But that's okay. I learned something new. Onion helps. So I'm thinking, okay, so you got a problem with coons and they don't like the smell or the taste of onions. Well, maybe just plant some onions around where your eggs are laid at, around where your chicken coops are at. around your porches, around your house. Just plant onions. Plant a bunch of onions. I think that's a good idea. Just start planting onions. Because they really work for a whole lot of things. I do know that you can slice an onion and put it in your sock, between your foot and your sock, and it will pull all the toxins out of your body through your feet, and that onion will be black in the morning or dark brown. Believe that. But I do a lot of herbal remedies and homemade remedies and stuff. I very rarely go to the doctor. And when I do, I have to be passed out and can't speak for myself. So that's about when that happens. But anyway, I've got some friends that I follow on YouTube, and a lot of them are down there in Australia right now. Well, we got this thing going on in Afghanistan, but our brothers and sisters in Australia are suffering greatly right now. They've got so many sanctions and so many mandates, and it might as well just be a martial law dictator regime for them people down there, because they're having a hard time, and I want to keep them in our prayers. And even with our brothers and sisters in Afghanistan, shit has hit the fan over there for those people. Literally, the worst case scenario, they had to walk out with the clothes on their back. That's what I'm doing. Being prepared for the worst case scenario, not the easiest or the most comfortable or the one that I could think that I can defend before the worst case. Besides death is the worst case. But walking out with what you got that you can carry. All you need is what you can carry. To make a stand against like what is going on over there in Australia. How are you going to keep all of those law enforcement and mandate enforcers and oppressors from kicking in your door and dragging you out? If you have children, you're gonna, there's gonna come a point to where you're gonna have to choose between your children and complying. If you don't comply, they're probably going to take your children, beat you, take you to the gulag or wherever it might possibly be, and take your children from you. If you do comply, then you've given up what you morally and reasonably believe in, and that is your freedom, your pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, basic human rights, basic ability to speak and feed yourself on your own home, on your own land. So I have prepared for the worst case scenario, being nomadic. If I have to, I can walk off and leave everything in Jolene and take my pack. I have a pack, my bug out bag, but I have a pack that I carry with me 24/7 everywhere I go. Okay, I've got some other stuff, strategically placed in some units and some places they call cache or caches. That if I need that stuff, I can get to it hopefully fairly easily on foot. I had to stop smoking the cigars. I got to order them. Now get this. My cigars are grown, the tobacco is grown in Texas. The filters are made in, not the filters, the wraps are made in North Carolina, and I have to buy them out of Florida. I don't know who come up with that idea, but anyway. So anyway, I got me some old Faithful Pall Malls, and I've got my coffee, my cowgirl coffee going. But people, suggestion, onions work to deter raccoons. Plant a bunch of onions. And also, if all else fails and you ain't got nothing else to eat, you can make you some onion soup. I've been telling y'all, I've been sharing my experience, strength, and hope, and my insights that they are coming. Just like what's going on in Australia, just like what's going on in France, just like what's going on in the UK, all those places, it is coming. We are holding on by a thin thread, okay? The time is near that a call to action is required. You give them an inch, they will take a mile. And that sorry POS and that ho 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 up there in DC, a diseased city, I like to call it, they need to go. They need to be impeached and held for high crimes and misdemeanors and charged and sentenced as traitors to the United States of America. Amen. This is a wonderful country. A wonderful country. But those people up there have agendas that's called their pockets. So the line in the sand for me has already been drawn. I'm just waiting for the shot that's heard around the world. That's all I'm waiting for. I stand with my brothers and my sisters and those who believe in the pursuit of happiness, freedom, liberty, justice, the Constitution, the American way of life that is such envied by the rest of the world. Be aware. Have your head on a swivel. They just sent over a whole bunch of sleeper cells on those planes, people. So keep your head on a swivel. Plant them onions. God bless you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. I love to talk back and forth with you. Sharing information, getting to know each other. I'm in Texas, and if shit was to hit the fan, I would hope that as long as I've been talking with some of y'all, and y'all been talking with me, that if y'all needed to bug out somewhere and I got a place, you're welcome, and vice versa. There is power in numbers, and being a lone wolf is somewhat complicated at times. Now, right now, going out into the forest is not something that I have to do. I can have a certain level of comfort. Oh, here comes the lawnmower man. Anyhow, it's going to get loud. Hopefully he won't start mowing lawns. Look at that beautiful flag right there. Everybody say hi. Anyhow, we want to prep to a level of what our comforts are now, but in reality, that's not gonna happen. Because everything that we have right now is at our fingertips. No electricity, no running water. People are actually gonna have to get up and do some work. It's best to start training yourself to get out your comfort zone. But you prep for your family. You prep. You're not taking my stuff. Eat it over my dead body. Blah blah blah. A lot of that's going to come true for some people. They will take their stuff and it will be over their dead bodies. Others, hopefully they learn from wisdom. But you really don't need more than what you can carry. And unless you got one of those super bunkers, You might make it a couple weeks, a month, maybe 2 months if you're way far out. Ain't nobody gonna find you for a minute. I mean, way far out. Like if you have a road, somebody's gonna come down that road. But I've discussed a lot of things this morning, and it's food for thought. It really is. It's food for thought. So, y'all stay blessed, stay prepped, keep your head on a swivel. Thank you for being here. If this is your first time, thank you for coming back. If it's more than your first time. Anyway, I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. And I'm going to go swimming with the alligators later. My cousin's coming. So, yeah, we're going to go swim with the alligators, see what's up with that. Okay, ciao, baby.